Hi guys, my name's Craig, welcome to Small Farmer Life. You can tell winter's coming, it's absolutely freezing. And I've been putting shingles on my workshop roof, and whoever invented them, they are absolutely terrible. You get tar all over your hands and I hate them. They're probably making a lot of money off them, but I don't like them. I wish I'd just put corrugated sheets on the roof. Anyway, today we're going to talk about what they used to call the functionality test and the financial test. So you can have a new farm workers dwelling in the countryside. Now, they don't reference this in the National Planning Policy Framework, and they changed it in 2012, so it just says a new farm dwelling for somebody who's working on a farm and they need to be there for 24 hours a day. So if you've been looking for it, that's why you can't find it, because on Google it's not on there no more and it's not mentioned in the National Planning Policy Framework. So what they mean by a new dwelling in the countryside. Now, this could be on a farm that's already up and running. So you've got a farmer, he's got a farmhouse and he's employed more people because his farm's grown and he has a need for some new workers to be on site 24 hours a day. So he's putting for planning permission to have a new house built. Now, it also can mean that if you start a new farm, that you need to have an house built on the farm also, so you have to pass the functionality test. Now, the functionality test is normally around animal welfare, and it can be a variety of animals, but let's just say it's for something like free-range chickens. You might have 6,000 free-range chickens free-ranging on your land in movable chicken tractors, large ones, and you need to be there on a regular basis to check to see that they're not getting attacked by predators, or there's no vandalism going on, or anything's getting stolen, or maybe you've got an incubator on site and that incubator could have thousands of eggs inside of it, and if the fuse goes on the incubator or the circuit board, then you need to know and you need to be there to fix it straight away. Otherwise you could lose thousands of pounds worth of stock. But other animals could be used also, like people used to use alpacas because they need a lot of attention, but the council have sort of caught on to that. Now, the council are not supposed to still use the actual functionality test and the financial test, but they still use these sort of rules. Now, people used to use alpacas to get an house on a piece of land. They used to buy 5 alpacas, a breeding herd, and they can be expensive, up to £5,000, and then they get planning permission for a house. But so many people did that, the council caught on to it. But there's plenty of other animals out there that need lots of care and attention. You could start a quail farm. Quails are becoming really popular. They're using the eggs on salads in top-end restaurants, and a brace of quails in a top-end restaurant can go for quite a lot of money. So you could start a quail farm. And there's lots of other things like animals that you need to be on site for. But lately, the councils have been letting other professions like farriers and horticulturists actually build a farm dwelling on site also. But you need to prove the functionality test, and that is the man-hour test also. And the man-hour test basically means how many hours does it take to run that farm. So let's say it was 32 man-hours. So you've got 24 man-hours for one person, that could be you, and then you've got another 8 hours for another person. So you need to be on site 24 hours a day, and the other person just has to come for a normal 8-hour shift. But you need to be on site for 24 hours a day. Now, that's what they mean by the man-hour test. So you need to prove that you need to be on site for 24 hours a day. And like I say, it can be lots of animals, and what you need to do is research what sort of animals need all the care and attention. Now, you can't just pick a sheep and a pig and a couple of goats and then grow some vegetables and say, well, my animals need to be taken care of all the time, because that won't do it. It has to be a business and a farm business. And that's what the functionality test means. That's all it means. And it's around welfare of animals and other things such as vandalism and theft, because theft on farms is a big thing. That's why they have that farm watch all over the UK. There's people out there stealing quads, and some farms get wiped out overnight and they're stealing everything from tractors to combine harvesters, you name it. there's people out there who'll steal it, and if a burglar can steal something, then they will. If they can make money from it, they will. So that's a big reason that you might need to be on site, because you need to protect all your machinery and also your animals. So that's the functionality side of the actual test. The financial side of the test means that you have to prove that your farm and business is actually financially viable. So they need to see that you're going to make profit in, let's say, 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 years. Now, if it's a new farm, they're going to ask you to probably live in a static caravan or a log cabin, something that they can move if the farm fails. And they're going to want to see accounts to make sure that you actually are making a profit, and they're going to want to know that you're going to be making profit in the future. So they're not going to just stand for 1 year's profit out of 5, and then in the next years that you're not going to make any money whatsoever. So what you need to be doing is lots of research in why the business that you've chosen to do is going to be more profitable in the coming years. So you could say it's rising 10% year on year over the last 3 years, and by 2025 it's looking like it's going to raise another 50%. So it's going to be more profitable in the future. That's why your farm is sustainable. And this is what they're going to want to see. They're going to want to see a business plan. They're going to want to see accounts, and they're going to want to see these after probably the 3 years. And if you can't show them, then they're going to ask you to move. Now, let's say you do pass the functionality test and the financial test. They might say, right, you can build a new dwelling on the actual farm. But let's say you bought a piece of land and already had a barn on the piece of land, or a set of stables like the ones I'm sat in now. They might say, right, you can convert those stables into a bungalow, and these 6 stables I'm sat in now could be converted into a 3-bedroom bungalow, or if you've got a barn, it could be converted into a house. Now, if you don't have any buildings on site, they'll look at who needs to be on site. So if you're just on site on your own and you're starting the farm on your own like I am, then you're probably only going to get planning permission for a 1-bedroom bungalow. But if you're with your family, so there's you, your wife and your girlfriend, say, or if you're married or not, I don't know, and you've got 3 kids, they might give you planning permission for a 4-bedroom house, and it'll probably be a 1.5-story farmhouse. But it also has to fit in with the characteristics of the surrounding area and not be very invasive. So if there's houses local here, then they might be built out of handmade red brick, and they want your house also to be made out of the same material. But sometimes they'll let you build something totally different that they haven't seen in the area, because they do like to see different houses, like eco houses, and they might let you build one. Let's say if you want to build one underground, they might let you do that because it'll be totally out of line of sight. But they're going to want it so it's not invasive to the actual countryside. So they might put other things restricting the farmhouse and an agricultural tie to the farmhouse also, meaning that if you stop your farm and think, right, I've got my house now, I don't have to farm no more, then they can tell you to take the house down, because there's no need to have the farmhouse on there no more, because you're not farming anymore. And that's called an agricultural tie. I have them on my buildings on my farm. So I have 4 buildings that have agricultural ties to them, and if I stop farming on my farm, then I have to pull them down. But what they really want to see, guys, is you trying to be a farmer, because there's so many people out there trying to purchase a cheap piece of land and build a big house on there and do it and make a lot of profit from building a big house. Well, they don't want to see that. They want to see people get mortgages. And there's other things that they're going to look at also. So let's just say your farm is just on the edge of a village, and there's plenty of houses in that village to rent. They're going to ask you, why don't you rent a house in the village? There's plenty to rent. You can rent one there, and you can take care of your farm also. So you need to understand that they might ask you to rent locally. So you have to make sure that your farm's not near anywhere that you can rent or purchase, because they might ask you to purchase a local house. But you want to tell them that you can't afford to purchase a local house. You just want to say, listen, I can only afford to actually build my house, and I don't want to be stuck in debt, and this is the whole point of building a farm and be a farmer, is to live on the farm, look after my animals on the farm, and make a profit from the farm. And eventually, once I've made my farm business really successful, I'm going to buy more land in the area and expand my farm. But at the beginning, I'm starting small. But what they really want to see, guys, from you is you trying to be an actual farmer. They want to see infrastructure going in place. Like me, I'm putting 6-foot fences all around my land. I've put fences already round, and then inside of them fences there's another 6-foot fence, stock fencing, to keep the actual free-ranging chickens from getting out. They're seeing the chicken tractors going up, they're seeing the workshop going up, they're seeing all the actual animals that I'm bringing in, all the different breeds of chickens. So they actually want to see that what you're saying you're trying to be is the farmer. They want to see you being a farmer, because if you're pulling up in an M3, getting out, dressed to the nines in your Prada and all that, and look nothing like a farmer, well, they're not going to be fooled that easily. And sometimes, guys, if you've started a farm, and it's best off just to move on to the farm and go for it from there, because they're more likely to give you the chance to live on that farm for 3 to 5 years and prove to them that you can actually make a profit from the farm, and then you'll eventually get the right to actually build a house on the farm. But a lot of people are scared to do that. But honestly, they don't like evicting people from farms. So yeah, you might want to approach them and try and get planning permission straight away for the functionality test and a financial test. But if you move onto the land and you've got no other house to go to, if you've got an house and you're renting it out, they'll say, well, why aren't you living in that house? So you need to literally have no house, nowhere to go, just that piece of land, and living in a caravan or a log cabin. And then they'll let you have the chance to build up the farm, show them that you can make the farm work and actually be a farmer. And that's what they want to see from you guys. Anyway, that's my take on the functionality test and the financial test, and what it's going to take to get a new agricultural workers dwelling house on a brand new farm. Anyway, guys, my name's Craig. You've been watching The Small Farmer Life. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, it's your choice. If you want to be notified of more upcoming farm videos, everything from marketing your farm to making your farm profitable so you can eventually live on it, then hit the bell button. And till next time, guys, take care of yourself, and most of all, take care of the family. Bye for now. See ya.